I like that indeed. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Volume 5, Episode Number 1 of the NFL Talk Series team-by-team previews. And after a one-day break, we're back at it, kicking things off in the NFC East. We'll talk about the division winners today. The Washington Redskins. Yes, indeed. 9-7 was enough to win the NFC least last year, and they're fighting for that title again. That division is the NFC least. Does not look to be that great of a division this season. I don't have high hopes for them, but we'll see. They can prove me wrong. All right, coming up on the show today, we're going to preview the Washington Redskins, but before we get started, got a couple things as usual. Guys, listen. I welcome your comments. I welcome your thoughts and your opinions on all things NFL. But if you post offensive or inappropriate comments, just to let you know, and I'm being 100% honest when I say this, I will block you and delete your comments. Just know this. I've seen some offensive comments, some inappropriate comments on some of my posts. Just a warning, a forewarning. You'll get blocked and you will get your comments deleted. Now on a brighter note, we have an unannounced poll that I just put up. What does Cincy's crystal ball say? And 50 of you have voted. 8 of you, that's 16%, say that they're definitely missing the playoffs. Four of you, that's 8%, say they'll kick butt in the playoffs. And 38 of you, that's 76%, say they'll get there, but they'll choke again. Yeah, I was one of the voters who voted in that category. And in all honesty, I don't think they're going to win another playoff game this year. I think for the Bengals, it goes a little bit beyond just being unable to win in the playoffs. It seems that fate has destined them not to win a playoff game. Is it karma? Who knows? Keep voting on that. Like I said, all the polls up until the end of August. Also, we've had some more votes on who will have more sacks in 2016. J.J. Watt has pulled ahead slightly. I'll read you some of the comments here. From the comments section, currently there's 88 votes. Khalil Mack has 35 votes, or 40%. And J.J. Watt has 60%, that's 53 votes. I'm going to read you some of the comments now from the comment section on this poll. Once I can find it. Here we are. Alright, Richard Belch says Watt, because he's playing in a weaker, or it says Watt is playing in a weaker division. Bill H. says, Khalil, I hope it's not the case, but it appears J.J. Watt's body's finally responding to all the insane training he does, and not in a good way. Tragedy turns triumph, says J.J. is injured now, so might take a step back to me. And then Boogie Beza, if Watt was healthy, I'd say him, but he's supposed to miss some games. So that's what the NFL Talk Nation thinks. And also, before we kick things off today on the show, wanted to mention about a new show you can find on Spreaker. Social media is going to come out soon for it. We're called the Rambling Rankers, and yes, we rank things, and we ramble. That's basically all it is. We rank any and everything, give out top 10 lists, and so you're going to want to check us out on Spreaker, the Rambling Rankers. Also, today is a Sunday, and that means we're releasing our second, I should say, it's our second, because we did do one last week, our second Sunday article for you guys. And you might be wondering, why is it on a Sunday and not a Friday. I will be perfectly honest with you guys. It is because I forgot to do one on Friday. So today we got Matthew Berry's Love Hate. You're going to want to check that out. Scott, Love Hate for the Fantasy Football 2016 season. Go ahead and check that out. Another thing, I wanted to respond to a comment. Like I said, I welcome all your guys' comments. And on Volume 3, Episode 3, Team by Team Previews of Jacksonville Jaguars, Window Seat Flyer said Yeldon did not struggle in the red zone. Stop reading off the stat sheet and watch the games. I welcome those comments. I will respond to them. Look, here's the deal. TJ Yeldon had 3 touchdowns last year. I don't even know if they were all in the end zone, or in the red zone. Let's just say they were all in the red zone. Whether you like it or not, the stat sheet, for the most part, does in fact accurately reflect a player's performance. Yeldon did not have a good performance in the red zone. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great coming from a starting running back that played 12 games. And I did watch the Jaguars games, and he didn't play that great in the regular season. He didn't play that great in the red zone in the regular season. If you, Window Seat Flyer, have some proof, something you want to tell me about why he did not struggle and why he was good in the red zone, I'm happy to hear it. But 3 touchdowns doesn't necessarily warrant being good in the red zone. TJ Yeldon just didn't have a great year in the red zone, I don't think, and I'm not expecting a great year from him this year either. My opinion. I'm running the show. Thanks for the comment, though. I appreciate it. Be willing to talk with you a little more on YouTube via the comment section. Alright, time to kick things off. We're wasting a lot of time here, and as you heard the You Like That bit at the very beginning of the podcast, Kirk Cousins, quote, has a better overall command of the offense, unquote. Cousins also said that he has, quote, a better understanding of the nuances of the offense, unquote. Look, I think that's just noise. In all honesty, it's just noise. I mean, sure, maybe he has a little bit better understanding. I don't think that's going to equal better play this year. Because I think he had a solid grasp last year. And it's coach speak, for the most part. This is the sort of thing that we hear as coach speak. I'm not buying any stock and put any stock into that. I think Cousins will be fine this year. But I don't expect some sort of great improvement. Some sort of super improvement. Now that he has, quote, a better understanding of the offense. That's coach speak. Pure coach speak. Matt Jones also had a little bit of an injury scare. But Coach Jay Gruden says that he doesn't expect Matt Jones to miss any time with an AC sprain. I think that in this scenario, they wish that they had, in fact, sat him in the preseason. Thankfully, though, they're going to get it back because they don't want Chris Thompson to be starting for him. I liked Matt Jones' talent last year. The 3.4 yards tote average is not that exciting. I understand. But I liked what I saw out of him. He had 304 receiving yards, added a touchdown through the air. Fumbling was an issue for him, had 4 fumbles. I think Jones, with a year under his belt, is going to have a better season this year. And with a year under training, I suppose you could say, from Alfred Morris, he'll play much better this year. Wide receiver core, Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon, those guys are there in terms of fantasy. Like, we're talking wide receiver 3, high end, maybe low end wide receiver 2. Deshaun Jackson recently forfeited a $500,000 workout bonus by skipping off-season or organized team activities this season, OTAs. Just shows you how much football players make. $500,000, he's cool with letting that slide. They're the kind of receiving core that I'm not super excited about, but I don't have a problem with either in terms of fantasy. They're going to be okay. They'll be right there. The guy that I do like as a top 3 tight end is Jordan Reed. The Washington Post reports Jordan Reed has looked like a, quote, game breaker in camp, unquote. He is going to be a top 3 option this season. Last year, 87 catches, failed to break 1,000 yards, 952 yards, had 11 touchdowns. Keep that in mind. Lost 2 fumbles. I like Reed from a fantasy perspective. He is a solid size, 6'2", 246 pounds, 26 years old. Did have a slight ankle issue in minicamp, but that's not going to be a problem for him this year. I like Jordan Reed. I like to see what he can do. I love him in fantasy. I think he's going to have a big impact for the Redskins this season. Keep an eye out on him. Pierre Garçon had an underrated good season last year. Solid season. 72 catches, 777 yards, 6 touchdowns. A lot of 7s in there. Did not fumble the ball. Garçon's status is currently wide receiver 2, but he's good enough to be a wide receiver number 1. He is good. I think he has more talent than he's given credit for. The Redskins did draft Josh Doctson with the number 22 pick, but apparently Pierre Garçon's spot is safe. The guy that I would not be 100% sure if his spot is safe is Jamison Crowder. He's irrelevant anyways. Although last year he did have 604 receiving yards on 59 catches. Garçon will be fine. Jackson will be fine. And I like Reed. Cousins should be a top 20 quarterback. But in standard leagues, that's not going to be good enough to warrant a draft spot. In July, the Redskins came out and said they see Cousins as replaceable. Redskins and Cousins could not agree on a deal. Kirk Cousins did not like that. The offers that the Redskins were making him. I don't think that the Redskins see Cousins as the long-term answer here, to be honest. I think they want another guy. Cousins is entering his prime right now. He's 28. He's got another probably 10 years in him. Maybe not 10 good years. Maybe you're thinking maybe 6 good years or so. But Cousins will be fine. The Redskins just need to learn how to utilize him in the offense better. All right, time for the record prediction of the X Factor. The X Factor is Matt Jones. He's a second-year guy. Had some training last year. We want to see if he can fix those ball security issues and be able to help put the team on his back. Record prediction for the Redskins. They have some tough games this season. They got to play the Steelers. They got to play the Bengals. They got to play the Cardinals. They got to play the Panthers. They got to play the Packers. Tough season in the works for the Redskins. I'm afraid that they're going to go 8-8. They're going to drop a game from last year, and they're going to miss the playoffs. Another team in the NFC East is going to be the team that rises to the top and takes over that number 1 spot, that division title from the Redskins. Keep an eye out for the NFC East because I think that we'll see a shakeup this season. All right, thanks for listening to the podcast, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget to check out the article. Matthew Berry's Love Hate. It's this week's weekly article. Thanks for listening, y'all. See you next time. Peace out.